Thank you, Mr. President Janith. I am 50% member in this club as I share the gardens part without discovery. It is a privilege to be a member in your club. Definitely, it's a privilege to be part of this audience, this lovely audience. And I'm so excited your Sergeant at Arms has given me the right to share my screen without asking for it. This is amazing. Usually we have to ask for it, sometimes beg for it, and sometimes fight for it.
We know Toastmasters are disciplined, so that's why I keep it open.
Lovely, I like it. All right, I'd like to hear from the members first. How many of you are going or decided that we are going for the contest this year? Kalpana, you are not raising your hand. What does that mean?
I'm an area director, so I cannot participate.
Lucky
But I can
you.
vouch.
It's
I can
okay.
vouch that
We can change the laws. That's fine.
So, but I'm sure Discovery Gardens members will make their best, and I vouch on that.
All right. And how many of you have already started preparing or drafting a speech for either humorous or international? Now no hands are raised. And the reason why is because we all wait for the right moment, the right time, the right day, the right partner to begin pursuing a dream. And we all believe that we are not perfect. We don't have much to offer. We still have a lot to learn. Who am I to begin? But this is all false beliefs. Today, our club president started, well, he's actually talking to himself at the moment. He started today with welcoming the audience, and that welcoming address itself can be turned into a humorous speech or can be turned into a motivational speech. If it's a humorous speech, it can be extended a little bit and become 7 minutes and become a speech about humorous, or it can become an international speech if he share moments of disappointed or moments of failure that he got over and rectify. Now tell me among you, how many of you have not felt or had moments of total distraction or total destroyment, and then you rebuilt yourself? We all been through. We all got jobs, we all lost jobs, we all made money, we all lost money, and we all succeeded. We all were made fun out of. We were all mocked as kids. We were all made fun out of our boss. Our boss made big fun out of us. We all were hungry. We all tried to cook. Some did not try his own cook, but others tested maybe on others. But we all did all these simple things, and all these simple things are part of our life. They all can be source for our humorous or even international speech. What a person needs to believe, if before we even start this educational session, is that you are good enough to start. The minute you think, yes, but, forget it. A lot of times when you are writing a humorous speech, and I want to make these disclaimers very clear, you start by saying, what would I say to make people laugh? That's not the point. The point is first write what you want to say, and then you realize later how you make the audience laugh. Because I can talk about anything. You choose any subject from the planet, I can make it funny, I can make it humorous. I can talk about refugees, all right, dying in the middle of the ocean, trying to escape from their countries, escape the war. And it's a very serious topic. I can still make that serious topic humorous and funny. Now, you're not going to like it because I'm not respecting people who are dying in a process, but I can still make it fun. Why? Because we are going to learn together in the next 15 to 45 minutes what is exact. Look at our Tiyomudi Priya. She was like, what, 45 minutes? What? No, I did. Yeah. Don't worry, don't turn off your camera. It's just going to be 45 minutes, not 15. But what we are going to learn is how can you shift your mindset to understand how humorous work and how you can craft a humorous speech. This has nothing to do with your speech not being written already. So you can write any speech you want that has opening, body, conclusion, and circulate around a specific point, and then take the tips that we are spoke about and just add the flavors from all around. We're gonna see that. So let's make an agreement here. If you are writing your humorous speech, and while you are writing your humorous speech, you're trying to make it funny, good luck. It will never work. You have to write your speech, make the stories, opening, body, conclusion, and then send it for, let's say, plastic surgery, and make it more fun. So now, even if you don't even have a single sense of humor, and your spouse believe that you are the most boring person on the planet, your club president still expect from you a speech. All right, and then how you make it funny or not depends if I can help you with that or not. But to make things clear, let's begin, because some of you are going to begin writing topics. So I want to highlight the first thing is what humorous speech is not. If you want to learn what humorous speech is, first understand what is not. So it's not funny events that happen to me. Trust me. Don't tell me how your birthday party was so funny, and how the cake was, and how you were humiliated, and how you were so embarrassed, and how you were late. Don't tell me what happened to you. That's not what humorous speech is all about. It's not a one-liner joke. You know, I crack a joke. It's not a conversational talk. I told my wife, she told me. I told my boss, she told me. I looked at him, he looked at me. It's not that. It's not a conversational talk. It's not a funny drama of life. I rushed into the traffic. I stuck in the traffic. It took me 2 hours to reach. My boss was waiting for me. By the time I reached home, there was my wife lying at me. By the time I reached evening, my mom was even shouting at me. The entire world is shouting at me. It's not about drama of life. And it's not about funny details of life or childhood. It's not that. It has nothing to do with any funny situation you've been through. And it's not mocking your husband, wife, parents, spouse, bosses, whatever. It's not mocking them. And of course, it's not a story of embarrassing in an event. Embarrassing wedding, we run out of food. Embarrassing a dance when you had to dance in front of everyone. That's not that. And then some of you are saying, what are you talking about? Then what else can we speak about? Some of them feel like this cat. What? All these things are not humorous. What else can we speak about? How many of you agree with this? Like Sami, you took all the topics out of my agenda, right? Kalbana goes like, So I want to ask, if I took all these topics from you, what else can you speak about? Give me random ideas. Kalbana, come on. I took these all topics from you. What else can you speak about?
Something happened in my life.
But again, we agreed that something happened in your life should not be a humorous speech.
It can be self-deprecating, that I'm very short.
I don't agree with that. You making fun out of yourself is not a topic you want to speak about. Go ahead, Fibin.
Something that is happening around, which everyone can connect to or everyone is aware about.
Like what?
Like what? Okay.
You're making fun out of the masks.
You can make something out of COVID currently. Everyone is isolated. Everyone is in the same.
But then this is not your speech. You're making mock out of COVID, and I make mock from my side. I have my own experience. You have your own experience. That's not your speech. And the judges are going to see that this is not your own creation. You lose a lot of points. What else would you do?
Okay.
Now, I'm not putting you in a corner to tell you there is no exit from it. There is a very simple exit. Kalbana, what time do you have usually your lunch?
I have it by 1 o'clock.
And when do you start cooking it?
By 11:30, 12.
What happened to the people who eat it after they eat it?
What is that?
What happened to the people who eat it after they eat it?
After they eat.
Mm.
Either they will sleep.
Okay.
After
And how do they feel before they eat it?
They were hungry.
Now, how do they look like while they're eating?
They're happy.
Now, by the way,
sometimes
you're
sad.
not able, you're trying to think to answer my question, but the audience are already laughing.
Okay.
All right. So this a
Yeah.
very simple subject of how you cook and how your family is struggling with your cooking and how you process the process before and after and how you made them feel and how they doze in because of what you did or sometimes whatever they do, that scene itself can be a humorous speech.
Fantastic.
Now, how many of you by the end of the day are going to go to bed to get some nap, to sleep? We all go to sleep. But how many of you wake up in the night few times? We all get up in the night few times. And how many of you sleep on one side, they don't keep moving from side to the other? We all keep moving from a side to the other. And while I'm asking these questions, your imagination now is spread across how can a good night's sleep can become a humorous speech. And we haven't said any joke. Why are you smiling? Because your imagination is going, oh my God, yes, actually, you know, you don't know what you're going to say, but there is an emotion inside you that is telling you, looks like, yes, there is hope. Your humorous speech topic has to be from a normal life scenario, normal, very normal. So what would be the topics? Let's learn it together from this picture. I would like to ask someone to describe to me, comment on this photo, describe it for me. Who would like to volunteer? Who would like to volunteer? I want someone to tell me, describe this photo for me. Go ahead. Who wants to be the brave person? Volunteers, come on.
These are people who are trying to interpret mask in different ways. So the instruction was not very clear.
Now, Vipul, you said people.
Yes.
Who are the people? We are also people. Are you talking about us?
No.
Your boss belongs to people. Are you talking about your boss?
No. The people in the photo.
Which photo? Because I have two photos in front of me. Which photo are you talking about?
I see only one on the screen.
Which screen? Which screen? Because I'm looking at this screen, I'm seeing only photos of Discovery Gardens members. Which screen you're talking about? You see what happens here? Vipul assumed in his mind that you all are looking at this photo. So he made an assumption that when he says people are trying to mock something, you are going to get the part people very clear. So what happened is, when you are seeing a situation, if you describe it in a high level without being specific, your audience cannot imagine where are you trying to go. So this photo is not a humorous photo, it's a funny photo. People are trying to mock the masks in different shapes. It doesn't make you laugh. But if you look at the photo now and you said something beyond what the eyes can see. Now let's do it together. Beyond what the eyes can see. Even during Corona, a handsome man will always attract a beautiful lady. Now we went beyond that because there's one lady looking at him. Now what else can we go? How far can we go? There is no limit. The minute you let the space for your imagination to describe what is in this photo without mentioning what's in this photo. For example, I can always say, this guy, and you don't know which guy. I can always say, the second guy, and you don't know, okay, now the second guy. This is very general. If I said the second guy is using the laundry box as a mask of COVID, that's normal because I've just told you what you already see. But if I said, during COVID time, it's better if you sniff the basket of your laundry than you sniff the virus itself. Now what happened? I'm describing the mindset of this guy. Having the laundry basket. Now, maybe this is not a laundry basket, but who cares? I made it a laundry basket. Now, sometimes you look at the photo and you let your imagination grow. So if you look at the first guy with a McDonald's bag, what would you comment on this guy? Come on, who wants to challenge himself? Manju, I feel like you want to say something. Manju?
Can you come again?
If you want to describe for us the first guy who have the McDonald's a bag on his face as a mask, what would you describe?
Oh,
So what happened here? The reason why you are stuck is because logically, you just have to say, this is a guy seated and having a McDonald's mask on his face. But in order for you to take this incident, which is normal, and make it humorous, you have to choose a direction. For example, is this box, is this bag a used bag? Does it smell like McDonald's? So you can always say, McDonald's burgers are so tempting that after you eat, you can't resist but put your head in the bag to sniff the smell of the burger. Right? You can still get beyond that imagination and say, recycle bin has taken a different direction during COVID. A transparent McDonald's bag today can be the most protection mask against any virus variant. So what happened here? You get out of the picture and you describe it. Now, what else you can look here? You have absolutely no limit. What can you see here? You can see two guys ignoring the girls next to them, right? Now, who can comment on these two guys who are ignoring the girls that are next to him?
may I?
Go ahead.
So, it may need a perfume to recognize the women beside you. Use a perfume.
Fantastic. So you choose the path of the perfume, right?
Yes.
Now, if you use the perfume part, you want to refer it to the boys or to the girls?
Probably a gents perfume brand.
Brilliant, brilliant. But now I'm saying comment on the two boys. So the two boys using perfume can be two scenarios. Boys does not have to shower as long as they got their head covered. So now you're talking about their sweat smell, right? Or you can go by girls, no matter what perfume you buy, the man next to you with his mask on cannot be attracted to you. So you're referring it to different direction. Now, it doesn't matter whether what I say now is funny or not, but it's imagination that makes the humorous part. So when you look at a picture like this and you try to innovate, some people, in order for them to survive COVID, they need to drink vitamin C, which is found in lemon. But ladies can just sniff it. And that serves the purpose, because there is a lady putting a piece of lemon, looks like a lemon piece. Now someone might say, but Sami, this is not lemon. According to me, it is. My imagination have to flow. So what I want to say from this point is that when you write your speech, at the start, it will be draw material, but then you will spice it up. By avoiding what I told you to avoid, you can spice it up with imagination. So what exactly are you looking for? You are looking for a style of speaking, not a style of talking. So you don't want to take me through a funny situation, but you want to create a formal situation that has a sense of urgency, that have a scene which has 5 to 7 minutes, with one objective only, not to make me laugh. Don't be cheated. Humorous speech is not about making the audience laugh. You make them laugh so that you can win the contest. but the context itself, the speech itself has a message. So you have an objective in mind to tell people it's not about what mask you put in your face. It matters about the awareness of how to use it. Maybe that's your main message. All right. So you're going to go for a message. So you think about a message that is related to our life. For example, if I want to speak about gratitude, and I can take it about Kalbana cooking for me every day as a family member for almost one whole life, not just 1 year. And I'm just commenting, I'm just rushing before food for her to cook it, criticizing the food while eating it, blaming her on my gas and my stomach disturbance after eating it, and exaggerating these parts. And then later the message is, like the food or not, be gratitude for what's on your table. Other people can't even find something to eat. So you can always take a normal subject, make it a noble message, exaggerated, but it needs to be in a speaking style, not a talking style, not a casual. For example, you know what happened between husbands and wives, right? That's casual. When a husband unites with his wife, the storms will be spoken about for years to come. Now, I just said what happens between husband and wives in a speaking style, in a formal style, in an exaggeration style, using a metaphor. So what happens? First thing you need to do, you need to write a speech that is simple. It has a message. It has a goal. And if you can relate it to a normal practice of life, you getting up early in the morning, you snoring while sleeping, you rushing without breakfast and relying your entire day on one meal only, whatever you want to speak about can be converted into something that can teach us a lesson. But just telling us that you are fat or you are thin or you are married or you are single, it doesn't give me anything to my life. Describing yourself, making fun of, making me laugh for the sake of making me laugh is not going to be related to me, because I'm not fat, or maybe I'm not as fat because I'm hiding it. I'm not as fat as a speaker can be. I'm not as thin as the speaker is. So I cannot relate. I'm single. I'm still single, believe it or not. I am proud Toastmaster single forever. But what happens here is not about being single or being married. It's not about the status. It's about what message I can put into that speech that can make a difference. So what do we have here? We need to know that our communication split into two sides, logical and emotional. When I brought you that photo and I asked you to describe it, the logical way you go and describe how it is. But the minute you look at how these guys felt, why they decided to wear this kind of masks, what went inside their brain, all these are imagination. No one can come to me and said, Sami, the boys no one spoke to, how did you know they are actually wearing this because of COVID? Maybe they were having fun. It doesn't matter. When it comes for humorous speech, you need to learn how to let your imagination go around the subject to express it. So you want to see, are you logical in the way you speak or are you emotional? And today, in the next few minutes, I'm going to highlight for you the thermometer that will tell you I'm too logical, or how can I reduce my logical and move to more imagination and emotional. The main objectives of your presentation when you are doing a speech in a contest, you want to create a sense of entertainment throughout the speech. Okay? And the sense of entertainment is what speaks to the emotions. And to speak to the emotions, you need to speak about values. You need to speak about imagination. All right? But while you're doing that, you're also providing information. So if I will tell you, my name is Sami, S-A-M-I. And I just tell you, my name is Sami, S-A-M-I. I'm just giving you information. But if I want to say it in a funny way, I can say, my name contains 4 letters when you write it in English or Arabic or even Spanish. A name that is mixed between America and the Middle East. A universal name. I am Sami. Now, most of you now is linking Sami to the American name of Sami, to the Western name of Sami. Some of you are now counting, really? 4-letter? Is it S-A-M-M-Y or is it A-S-Y? Because I have prepared you to think. Before I tell you what's my name, I made you prepare that it's a universal name. It has an American version and a Middle Eastern version. It has 4 letters. Now, the minute I say my name, your brain is automatically working because I did not tell you directly my name is Sami. I prepared the entertainment package to tell you my name is Sami. Right? So you want to make sure that your speech is entertaining and informing, but the information, you don't want to say it directly. You don't want to say, I was single and I got married. But you want to say, I enjoyed 33 years of freedom before I get married. So what happened here? I can imagine the freedom with being married. Not like I want to disappoint the married couples, but this is fact. You've enjoyed your freedom and now it's too late. So what happened here when you are writing your speech? Most of the speakers try to use the word you too early. You see where this line of persuade? Persuade is when you have the message. Leave it towards the last part of your speech. Now, when you want to persuade, you just need to exaggerate your persuading. When you want to inform, you want to exaggerate the information. When you want to entertain, you want to exaggerate the emotions. And when you want to inspire, you want to exaggerate the inspiration. So Kalbana can always say, my family, my own beloved family, betray me and did not appreciate all the food I cooked. I'm not going to call talabat anymore. So what happened here? She wasn't actually cooking. She was calling talabat and taking the food and putting it forward. What happened here? She's just trying to exaggerate a normal situation. What is important here, if you want to see where humorous is actually made, is to know where is it exactly. Humorous is in exaggerated events and stories. Notice this. I did not say events that happened to you. I said events or stories. In an example, you standing in the queue to get the bread for your house is not funny for me. The process of standing in queues is good for me. You getting to a wedding late is not important for me because it's an event that happened to you. But wedding procedures around the world is interesting to me. And why each nation takes marriage too very seriously is something we all relate to. And why we take family time so seriously and why we take a lot of things so seriously, why we take cricket so seriously is an event or a story. So when I say Pakistan playing against India, if I will comment about last match when they played in Dubai, it's not going to relate to all of you. But if I will just speak about the two nations that clash, the titans that clash on a cricket battlefield, smashing each other, breaking bricks, right, left, center, all of you can relate, all of you can imagine. Even someone who's playing or didn't play, everybody can imagine. Why? Because I am speaking about an event or a story, not something that a particular event that happened. I'm making it universal. Exaggerated description of characters, exaggeration in the characters, that's humorous. Respectful criticism of self-criticism can be humorous. But if you made your whole speech about criticizing how short you are, how fat you are, there's no point. I don't see a point that's going to get out of it, but it's hard later to bring a message. But still, if this is what you have material, use it. But what you need to keep in mind is that you wrote a normal speech that has body, opening, conclusion. The entertainment part is going to continue. The food arrived, Shafiq. Shafiq, food arrived, I know. So You want to make sure that while you are entertaining, talking about emotions, talking about stories, you want to exaggerate the characters in the story. You want to exaggerate the information you give. You want to exaggerate your opinion. You want to exaggerate the concept of meditation, the concept of yoga. You want to exaggerate any concept you want. It's entirely up to you. The more you exaggerate it, the more it becomes related to humorous. And we are going to talk about it here. What is humorous? Anytime you laugh, you must have seen or heard or remembered something which contains a setup and a punchline. So whatever you speak about is your setup. Whenever you speak about any direction of topics, taking the audience into a specific direction, and when you expose that direction and reverse it, how I spoke about the cooking, how I spoke about the sleeping, you take it from a normal, visible, visual, logical area to something people could not feel or imagine you're getting through. It creates the humorous. Just give me 5 more minutes. So what I want you to keep in mind is there are pillars of humorous statements that needs to be followed according to this structure. You always have to say a topic. The topic itself can be exaggerated, it doesn't matter, but this topic needs something to support it. So if I said, I love going to the gym, I cannot just stop there. I need to support it, right? Now I can always say, I love to go to the gym. It keeps me healthy, it makes me stronger, and I can see my friends. Normal, logical. What's the big deal out of it? Nothing funny. Now, in order to make it funny, I need to exaggerate and put something that challenges logic. But again, I don't want to say it immediately. I don't want to say, I like to go to the gym because it will make me like a grandizer. It will make me a giant. It will make me a Hulk. I'm exaggerating. It's not funny. But I need to take you through a direction and surprise you. So the topic sentence is, I love to go to the gym because it makes me healthy, help me get stronger, and I don't need to chase girls in the mall anymore. So now you know that the twist was that I'm going to chase the girls in the gym, not in the mall. So what happened? I made a statement. I supported that statement. Now, if you want to add an additional flavor as a closing statement, as a humorous, I can always say, I love to go to the gym. It makes me strong, teach me discipline, and I don't have to chase girls anymore in the mall. The only problem is you get too many of them at the same time. So what happened here? I just added an additional joke related to the same situation in the mall, just to add an additional closing statement. But I want to leave you with this. When you are writing your jokes or your parts of speech, opening body conclusion, always make sure you have a topic sentence, statement that is clear, supporting to the sentence, and then try to close it or not. It's not important. What's important is the support sentence. Few tips, what you can do. Apply the rule of 3. The rule of 3 is based on what I just did now. You give, I really like to drink fresh juice, and you give one reason, second reason, and the third reason, you make it illogical. You challenge the logic. You make it emotional. The rule of 3 can be applied in your body of your speech. It can be applied in the opening, and definitely can be applied in the closing. So that's something you can do a lot easier. But again, imagine you write your own speech, make the rule of 3 without a twist, make it normal, and then add the flavors. I want to say that humorous speech is like making a cake. You never sweeten the cake before you actually bake it, right or not, ladies? And when you get the cake out of the oven, no one like it. No one like to jump and eat it because it smells normal. It's nothing different. It's when you put the toppings on it that makes it so unique. But most of you try to think about how can I decorate my cake before you even put the essentials together. So you need to write your speech first, and then you need to beautify it with how you can. In a lump sum, avoid logical sound while stating your statement. Be aware of your voice tone to make more assertive voice than logical voice. Pay attention to the swing in the voice. Like, you know, my name is Sami, as you all know, and when we get married, you can simply say, my name is Sami, and when I get married, oh my God. You got my point? When you fight that swing, your assertive sound becomes completely different. The reality is much better than the truth. I could say the reality is much better than the truth. So the voice gets a lot of sense of humor. Pay attention to the swing and then avoid logical filler words like you know, as you see. Anyways, I'm leaving this presentation for you. Always elaborate in the description of your characters, elaborate in the details of your speech, and try to make it exaggerated as much as possible. You got few tips here, like, for example, build a common background to your audience. Never assume your audience already belong to a certain audience and they already know that there was COVID and they already know this and they already know that. Avoid that as much as you can. Avoid using language of the past. Try to show audience, not to tell them. Tell a story as if you are watching it and introduce the characters' feeling, mood, and nature to your audience. Because if you introduce a character without elaborating it in details, it seems to be a little difficult for audience to relate to it. Again, finally, I hope you find this short session useful and helpful. And I hope you put it into practice, because until you make your cake, bake it, put it out with permission of your wife, of course, and you try to decorate it with these steps, you can never reach a level where you can actually craft a humorous speech. Any questions on the floor? I'm sorry for taking little extra time from your precious time.
During the speech, can we use 1 or 2 sentences in our regional language just to create thinking to the speaker? It will be like creating humor sense to them, or they will feel irritated by using something they don't understand?
See, if I understand the statement, I will laugh, but you have the judges, they will mark you down. Because you are saying a statement that only related to a certain nationality. So it will not relate it. Like I'm speaking Russian, I crack a statement of, oh my God, in Russian and makes all the Russian people laugh. But if one judge is sitting and he didn't get it, he will mark it down.
This facial expression and gestures are very important in humorous speech.
I don't actually see that it's humorous is important. I see the more your face is emotionless, the more effective you are.
Okay.
Because if you want to say, I was scared, it's not, your face distract. Because you're telling me you are scared and your face looks scared. You're telling me you are angry and you are shouting. It doesn't tell me. But if you want to describe for me how scared you are, I was terrified that I ran out of my skin. So now I can imagine that you were so scared and you ran away. I turned to a cartoon character who ran away and leave his clothes behind. So you are giving me an imaginary, or I don't know if you have seen cartoon characters learning pew and leaving the cloth where it is. So you want to exaggerate how you got angry. I turned into a volcano bigger than the one in the Canary Island or on Spain. So you're turning yourself into an exaggerating image. You're telling me how aggressive you were, how angry you were, how crazy you were, how delicious your food was, whatever you describe it with exaggeration. Like Albana can always say, I have mastered the art of cooking. I cook so tasty food that my food is eaten before I even reach the kitchen. Before I even get to the kitchen or get to make it. So she is exaggerating that her food is even eaten before she cook it. Like, I am so professional cook that my family love my cook so much that they are willing to eat it before they cook. They or eat the raw material. So again, she's exaggerating that. You're the only face I'm very familiar with, Kalbana, so I'm taking that liberty with you. That still, I want you to cook something for me. That is a different topic.
Sometimes it is the truth. Before I cook, they eat the carrots and cucumbers.
See? But if you told me, actually, they love my food so much that they eat the carrot and cucumbers before I cook, I will not laugh. But you have to give me an exaggerated way that they love my cook so much. It's like I'm saying, I am such a funny, humorous speaker that people laugh at my jokes before I say it, which makes me lucky to save the joke for the next scene. So again, I said, I am very lucky, I'm very successful or very funny, humorous speech. I need to make a support statement that people laugh at my joke before I even say it. Now I can stop. But if I want to have a closing line, I will say, and that make me save my jokes to the next attempt, where people are going to laugh before I say the joke. So again, I'm going to save my joke for the following attempt. So I don't even have to crack jokes. I just keep saving them. But again, a statement like this, you're describing yourself, you're exaggerating, and then that's where humorous lies. If you have your team crafting speeches and you have speech in place and you would like to have a second session where we analyze the speeches, elaborate further on it, I'd be so delighted to do so.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you so
We will-
much. Thank you so much. I'm not going to continue the meeting because I'm committed